Hold up. This parrot just solved a puzzle that confuses most humans, and it's not a coincidence. Today, I'm going to show you the truth about African gray intelligence. And I'm warning you, the numbers are going to blow your mind. Scientists discovered that this bird has cognitive ability comparable to a 5-year-old child. But here's the thing, most people have no idea about this, and you're about to find out why. Stick around till the end of this video, because the last thing I'm going to show you is going to change your entire perspective on animal intelligence forever. Before we dive into the tests, you gotta understand something fundamental. An African gray's brain is not like a common canary's brain. It's not like a regular parrot's brain. It's different, really different. Check this out. An African gray has a brain that makes up 1.5% of its body weight. To put that in perspective, the human brain is 2% of our body weight. We're talking about almost the same proportion. And it's not just the size, it's the structure. African grays have highly developed neurons, complex neural connections, brain areas dedicated to problem-solving, memory, and communication. Basically, this bird is a genius. But how do you actually prove that a bird is intelligent? Through tests. And that's exactly what we're gonna do right now. Test number 1, problem solving. This is the most impressive test, and you're gonna see why in a second. Scientists at the University of Vienna ran an experiment. They put an African gray in front of a locked box. Inside the box, food, the thing this bird wants most. But the box had multiple locking systems, different types of latches, different mechanisms. The bird had to unlock everything to open the box. Here's the thing, the bird had never seen that box before. No prior training, no clue how it worked. But in less than 2 minutes, the African gray unlocked every mechanism and opened the box. Now, here's the shocking part. When scientists gave the same test to 4- and 5-year-old kids, half of them couldn't solve it. Half! The African gray solved it in 2 minutes. The kids took 10 to 15 minutes, and some of them just gave up. Let me ask you something. Could you solve that box in 2 minutes with no instructions? Probably not. But this bird did it like it was nothing. Test number 2, memory. And this test is even more impressive than the first one. There's this famous African gray named Alex. You ever heard of him? Alex was a research parrot who worked with Dr. Irene Pepperberg for 30 years. And what Alex did, well, he changed everything we know about animal intelligence. Alex could identify colors, shapes, numbers, and even abstract concepts like same and different. But here's the incredible part. Alex had such a good memory that he could remember sequences of up to 6 objects. Not once, not twice, consistently. Let me show you how this works. Let's say you see 6 objects in this order: apple, ball, key, feather, cube, bell. Now they disappear. Randomly, one of them shows up again. You gotta remember what position it was in the original sequence. Could you do that with 6 objects? Maybe if you really concentrate, but Alex? He did it with 6, 7, even 8 objects every single day. No mistakes. And it's not just sequence memory. African grays can remember people, places, routines. An African gray can remember a spot where it saw food 1 year ago and go back there. Let me say that again. 1 year later, the bird remembers. Do you remember where you parked your car yesterday? Test number 3, communication and language. This test is going to leave you speechless, I promise. Alex, the African gray I mentioned before, could talk, but it wasn't just mimicking sounds like a regular parrot. Alex understood what he was saying. When Alex said, "I want apple," he actually wanted an apple. It wasn't just repetition. When Alex said no, he really didn't want to do something. When Alex said thank you, he was actually thanking someone. Scientists tested this in multiple ways, and the conclusion was clear. Alex wasn't just imitating sounds. Alex was communicating. Alex had a vocabulary of more than 1,500 words. He could combine words to create new ideas. When he saw a red apple for the first time, Alex called it red apple. He created the word by combining two concepts he already knew. Let me be clear, that's language. That's not mimicry, that's real language. Here's what nobody talks about. An African gray can learn up to 1,000 plus words in its lifetime. Not 100, not 500, 1,000 words. To give you perspective, a 5-year-old kid knows between 2,000 and 2,500 words. An African gray can get close to that. Let me ask you, how many new words have you learned in the last 5 years? Probably less than 100, but this bird learned 1,000 plus. Test number 4, abstract concepts. This is the test that proves the African gray isn't just intelligent, it's extraordinarily intelligent. Scientists tested whether Alex could understand abstract concepts like same, different, bigger, smaller. Concepts that even small kids struggle with. Scientists shows Alex 2 objects and asks, are they the same? If they're the same, Alex says yes. If they're different, Alex says different. Red apple plus red apple equals same. Red apple plus yellow banana equals different. Big cube plus small cube equals different. Blue ball plus blue ball equals same. And here's the incredible part. Alex got it right 80 to 90% of the time, consistently. An African gray understands abstract concepts better than a 5-year-old child. Let that sink in for a second. But wait, there's more. Alex could even understand the concept of number. Scientists would show objects and ask, how many? And Alex would answer correctly. 3 apples equals 3. 5 feathers equals 5. 7 cubes equals 7. A bird could count. And it wasn't a fluke. It was consistent. It was real. Let me ask you, are you starting to understand why this bird is so special? Now, let's do the final comparison. African gray versus human. Who's smarter? I'm going to show you a chart, and you're going to see something that's going to make you think. In problem solving, the African gray is better than a 5-year-old child. In memory, the African gray is better. In abstract concepts, they're basically tied. Now, here's the question everyone asks. Why isn't the African gray as smart as an adult human? The answer is simple. It's about the type of intelligence. An African gray is exceptional in certain areas, problem solving, memory, communication, but an adult human has other types of intelligence, long-term planning, complex abstract reasoning, artistic creativity. But here's the point. An African gray is as intelligent as a 5-year-old child. Let that sink in for a second. You're living with a bird that has the intelligence of a 5-year-old child. A bird that can problem solve, that can remember things, that can talk. A bird that can understand what you're saying. And most people don't know this, but you know because you watched this video. So, what's the bottom line? The African gray is one of the smartest birds on the planet, period. But here's the thing. Most African gray owners don't know how to work with that intelligence. They don't know how to train, they don't know how to enrich, they don't know how to communicate. And that's why so many African grays develop behavioral problems, screaming, aggression, self-plucking. It's not because the bird is bad, it's because the bird is bored, because it's not being stimulated. An African gray with the intelligence of a 5-year-old child needs constant mental enrichment. It needs challenges. It needs stimulation. But here's the most important thing you need to understand. This knowledge you just learned, that's power. The power to understand that the animal in your home isn't just a pretty bird. It's an intelligent being, a conscious being, a being that deserves respect, stimulation, and care. Because an African gray without mental enrichment is like a 5-year-old kid locked in an empty room, sad, frustrated, desperate. But an African gray with proper enrichment, it's one of the most fascinating beings on the planet. Intelligent, affectionate, communicative, extraordinary. So here's my invitation to you. If you have an African gray, start today. Start providing mental enrichment. Start communication. Start challenging. And if you don't have an African gray, but you're thinking about getting one, know that you're considering bringing into your home a being as intelligent as a 5-year-old child. That's not a decision to make lightly. But if you're ready, if you're willing to invest time, energy, and love, then you'll have an extraordinary companion. A companion that can surprise you every single day, that can make you laugh, that can teach you about intelligence, communication, and connection. Because at the end of the day, the intelligence of the African gray isn't just about numbers and tests. It's about connection. It's about understanding. It's about recognizing that we share this planet with extraordinary beings. And when you really get that, when you really live that, everything changes. Thanks for watching this video. I hope I've opened your eyes to the extraordinary intelligence of the African gray. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with people you know who love birds, because this knowledge deserves